introduce our next act. Next up, we've got Essa Flat. She's an award-winning queer writer, musician, and theatre maker. She's written 3 solo folk theatre shows, one of which enjoyed a week-long run at the 2019 Edinburgh Fringe. She's currently studying on the University of Aberdeen MLit course in ethnology and folklore.
Ooh.
Let's find out what her favourite rule to break is and whether breaking it makes her feel at all guilty. Welcome to the stage, Scream.
Hello. Now, we're a boring lot because my stand-up's all about how I don't like breaking rules as well. So there's something that could be some sort of poll we could make here probably. So there's not many things at which I'm truly bad, but breaking rules has definitely always been one of them. Call it being on the autistic spectrum, call it cautious personality, call it being brought up in a Christian household, call it hating being told off to the point of it being a phobia that still impacts my life as an adult. I've always been someone who thrives under clear guidance and clear rules. I was always that child. You know that child. You've had a sleepover with that child. Every young friend group has that child. The one who immediately gets homesick and cries and says things like, Lauren, your mom said we should switch the bedroom light out at 10 p.m. and it's 10:05. I was such a rule-abiding child that I was called the suck-up at Christian summer camp. No, just how well-behaved a child you have to be labeled the suck-up at Christian summer camp. I didn't mature into late onset rule breaking either. When in our first week at uni, we were told if we illegally opened the fire door of our flat and student halls to get onto the roof, we would be immediately evicted. My takeaway was, right, never open the fire door. Got it. Everyone else's takeaway seems to be, you can get onto the roof. Awesome! Let's open that fire door during a flat party in week 2 of our first term, be unable to shut it again, and then just sort of awkwardly wedge it closed and hope that the staff member who doesn't fire inspections won't notice it's broken for an entire year. Fingers crossed. I'm also terrible at lying, but I've learned how to do the basics. The sorts of lying essential to survive in this hellscape of a planet. Of course I've just left the house. I'm just stuck in traffic. That meal you just made me tasted great, and I'm so sorry. I would love to attend your Disney-themed hen do, but I'm horribly ill. Are all sentences that have left my mouth in the past and will do again in the future. The everyday white lies that probably help stop society from devolving into a real-life version of The Purge. Anything bigger, though, and I am still hopeless. Just last year, a group of friends and I went out for a drink, and before we went into the pub, one of them went, oh, and since we all live alone, and it's meant to only be 3 households, Essa, just pretend to be Amy's flatmate when they ask about who lives with who, all right? No, Stephen. No, not all right. What a thing of something to ask of someone who is famously, infamously incapable of lying. I was there in the queue, frantically concocting a rich inner backstory like, okay, so, Amy, we go to college together, we like rapping in bad Spanish, I own a limited edition DVD of a Batman film which a third flightmate accidentally broke, but you're keeping the news from me as you know it will devastate me emotionally. She's like, are you describing the plotline of Donald Glover and Danny Pudi's characters in season 3 of the TV show Community, Essa? I'm like, this is the sort of material I have to work with, and I'm only given a minute and a half to create a believable, nuanced backstory for our fictional characters, Amy. Start practicing how to rap about deadly attackers! So stressful. That said, I have gotten less interested in following rules as I get older. Mostly because I think that the guidelines people give you for following your life get more stupid as you get older, particularly for women. Don't eat sweets before brushing your teeth? Seems legit. Don't play on train tracks, probably a good call. find a husband and give birth to children and buy a house before the age of 35, less useful, as suggestions go. As the years went by, I also inadvertently became a radical rule breaker simply by being myself, which is ironic for someone who's so law-abiding. Do you know that I'm breaking the law in 70 countries simply by existing as a gay woman? Fun! I may still live my life being a rule follower in some ways, but these days I revel in smashing every patriarchal rule I can find to smash. I will probably never climb onto a roof through a fire escape, but I am living my best unruly life as I avoid bras, grow out all of my hair, and refuse to take any man's bullshit, which all seems like a pretty good kind of rule breaking to me. And you never know. Someday, I might even smoke weed.